Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is really well. I wanted to give you an update on my experience while away. So, we are just back from a 3 week vacation. We went to Amsterdam, Paris, and then Dublin. And we had a fantastic time, but we I also found that I had some challenges. So before I left, I did, I think it was a video or a podcast episode. I think it's here on YouTube of basically my plan for going away. I think it's in the diet breaks video actually. And I had said that I had been reverse dieting for a couple of weeks, trying to bulk up and build as much muscle as I could while cutting body fat, which I was very successful with. And when we left at the start of March, I was very, very happy with my body, feeling very confident in myself and my appearance, and like really proud of the hard work that I had put in. So that was great, and my body responded well, and of course my brain did too. Exercise and my physical appearance is a big part of my mental and emotional health. Before I go on, I want to reiterate that this is my experience, my opinion, how I personally felt. I'm not trying to say anyone else should feel this way or resonate this way, but I'm sure some people will. So many of you that have been following me for a long time know that I've had quite the health journey, and I lost 165 pounds, so I was 280, and then I lost all the weight and I ended up with stretch marks and loose skin. And when I was overweight, it was quite traumatic. There was a lot of bullying, a lot of abuse, mental abuse. It was quite traumatic for me. So the weight loss and health in itself is a big part of me. It's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of my history. It's going to be a big part of my future. It is just who I am now. The struggles, the experience, the stretch marks, the loose skin, the tears, the celebrations, everything is a part of me and who I am. And although I have been at maintenance since 2008, and I've been in the health industry for like 15 years now, and I have a lot of experience with many aspects of health, but probably my top would be fat loss. As much as I thought I was in a secure place, I realized while away that I wasn't, in fact, as secure as I thought I was. I still had some insecurities. I've spoken before about body dysmorphia. It's in my video on body checking. I have body dysmorphia and still do, but all of this was brought more to front on the vacation. So we start on the vacation. I was very proud, feeling very confident and secure. Exercise is a big part of my life, so I know that did play a part in how I was feeling as we started to move through the vacation. So when we went, we did have a fantastic time, and I did set myself up for success as much as I could with all that traveling. And I mean, I wanted to experience stuff. I wanted to try stuff. I had a plan. I was going to use my fasting tools. I brought all my supplements. I had brought everything I needed to do my ab workouts. I knew that we were going to be walking a lot. I had my pedometer, had my Whoop. I brought all my teas, my mushroom coffee. I even brought some extra bone broth in case there was an emergency or someone got sick. So I did my best to set myself up for success, and I had a clear plan. And the first 2-3 days were great, and I was still feeling tight and lean and kind of what I would feel if I was going away in Canada for 2 or 3 nights. So I was still in that good space, like. But as we started to move through that first week, as much as I was still enjoying the food, and we were doing a lot of walking, we were doing like 20,000 steps a day, like a lot. We walked everywhere, and that was one thing I was really looking forward to, and I'm grateful for the walking. So as we started to move through week one, I started to feel uncomfortable in my body, like I wasn't myself. Um, Obviously, my muscle connectivity was, that signaling factor was starting to die down. And not that I was losing muscle at day 4, but I was feeling not as lean. Um, and then I could feel the fluid retention because we were having extra drinks. We had met family in Amsterdam. We went out for dinner. We were trying like treats like the stroop waffles and everything. So I could feel the fluid retention, and I tried to shake it off. I'm like, oh, that's fine. We've still got like 2.5 weeks, but I knew I was feeling the effects. So I managed to stay on top of all the walking. I made sure I did my abdominal exercises every day, not just for the keeping the strength in my abs, but also for supporting my gut. I've spoken about my diverticulosis. So I also did like my supplements. Like I did my best. I did my inversion. I did my chin exercises. And as the time went on, I wouldn't say things were out of control. I kept doing all that stuff, but I started to feel worse, in a sense, more insecure. Started getting a bit irritable because I wasn't doing my regular exercise, a bit cranky. I definitely started feeling more insecure. Started body checking myself in the mirror. I've been doing this so long, I can see when I'm putting on body fat. I can see the puffiness, but also like the loose skin that I've had most of my journey. I saw it started to fill out again, and I wasn't liking what I was seeing. And I was very much trying to not let it dictate my holiday or ruin things for me. But I could notice this stuff, and it was affecting my mental and emotional health. And again, we had a wonderful holiday right up till the end. But inside, like my husband wouldn't have noticed it, my little boy wouldn't have nobody else would have noticed it. I think I mentioned to my sister in passing, oh, I've put on like a couple of pounds. I'll lose it when I go back, but I don't think I got into too much detail. So nobody noticed it, but inside I was having this internal battle. Yes, my husband noticed I was being cranky and irritable. Part of that could have been my cycle, but I personally think a big part of that was I was out of my comfort zone. I wasn't doing my exercise. My sleep was off. I just wasn't in a place that allowed me to be optimal, which Canada does. Canada allows me to be my optimal self. So then I could see like the loose skin started filling out, and then I started noticing this extra cellulite. And you do need to have a very keen eye to notice something like that. But I had actually been working all of 2022 specifically on improving cellulite, which had came amazingly far. So then when it started to creep back in, I started to notice it, and that was getting to me as well. And I am predisposed to putting on weight very easy. That's how I put on muscle very easy. So I was obese. I was very obese. I come from a family on both sides who have weight issues. I just have to be careful. So I could see the cellulite. I could see the loose skin filling out. On the plus side, I saw my laughter lines start to disappear because I was putting weight on my face, so they were filling out. So that was a positive, I suppose. But I started to feel flabby. By week 3, as we were going into week 3, I knew, well, at this stage, I haven't done any weight training apart from my abs. I've definitely lost muscle at this stage, and I had put on a lot of muscle before we were going, so I still look quite muscular, but again, I could see I had lost a lot of muscle from everywhere, not just like my biceps, from everywhere. I think I lost most of it from my legs, which was concerning because the leg muscles are a big part of metabolism and insulin sensitivity. And I was definitely having a lot of sugar, and I definitely felt the difference when having more sugar and not exercising. I was lethargic. I could feel the strength was gone from my legs. From leg pressing 600 pounds to not doing anything at all for 3 weeks, you can feel it. I just, everywhere. I could see it and feel it everywhere, and I really wasn't happy, to be honest. I was not happy. I was happy with the vacation. We had a great time, so many experiences. We saw so many sites. If you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll have seen them. We did everything you could imagine, pretty much, almost everything. But I was struggling inside, and I was unhappy. And that's when I realized the lifestyle I lead in Canada, it is me. It's not just a part of me, it is me, which then obviously makes it easier for me to practice because it is just who I am at this stage. So I was unhappy inside about myself. I started wearing like baggier clothes. I just was trying not to think about it, like, oh, nobody's looking at me, like it's all in my head kind of thing. But it really affected me emotionally and physically. And I noticed that my skin started getting very dry because I wasn't having as much water and hydration and my electrolytes and aminos as I do in Canada, because when you're doing all that walking and sightseeing as well, you have to be kind of careful with how much water you drink, because like, where's the next bathroom? And in Europe they charge you to use washrooms, and in some places like McDonald's or whatever, they will not let you use the bathroom unless you make a purchase. So it was challenging. I still managed to have my teas, green tea every morning, my mushroom coffee. I was buying the smaller bottles of San Pellegrino, but I was thirsty every day. I'm used to 3 to 4 liters of fluids a day, plus my hydrating foods, my apples, my chai. And yeah, I did buy apples there, but definitely a lot more challenging. And towards the end of the vacation, I was sick of food at that stage. I was skipping meals. And when we did have dinner, I was going more for chicken Caesar salads, and just like more just teas when other people were eating. Because, yeah, I was sick of all the food, because 3 weeks of not being on your healthy food, shall we say healthy food, 3 weeks of being exposed to more fast food and restaurants and Starbucks and stuff like that. Like, it takes its toll when you're used to being so um, rigid and having access to so much good food. So then I was like, oh, I just want salads. And that was fine. Even on the way home, I didn't eat. I was like, did refuse the food on the plane. I was like, no, I just want to get back. I was fed up at that stage, and I was upset at that stage. Like, no, I just want to get back into my routine, which sounds contradictory that I was upset when we had such an amazing vacation, but I was upset in how I felt in myself. I noticed in my skin was so dry. Even my legs, when I'm body brushing this morning back in Canada at home, so much dry skin, the appearance of some keratosis on my legs, which I never have, which is blood sugar stuff. Now, I didn't go hypoglycemic. I still am pretty metabolically flexible, but not as much as before I left. I can feel the difference. But I really want to share that at this stage of my journey, since started in 2006, quite a long time now, like 17 years, you never fully shake off the feeling of how you felt when you hated your body, when looking at yourself in the mirror upset you so much, when just looking at like your rolls or your stretch marks, you never fully shake off that feeling. And even if you come across confident, because maybe most of the time I am confident and I'm confident in my ability to teach and my understanding of health and everything, I still deep down have these insecurities. And it definitely affected me on this vacation. And I could see the physical stuff, and it was bizarre. Like, I could see the cellulite pretty much growing on my legs like crazy. And I'm very sensitive to this stuff. I have hypothyroidism, but I have it very much under control. It runs in my family. I have poor circulation. I have to body brush every day and stay active. I have to do a lot of work to maintain the body I have, and that is mostly genetics and the lineage that I come from, but also the nutrition I was exposed to at a very early age. So I have poor circulation, which is um, basically a reflection of my circulation and detoxification system. So I can gain cellulite really fast, regardless of how much toxins I'm taking in. To be honest, when I reflect, I wasn't actually taking in that much like trans fats or anything. Maybe I was more. I didn't eat any cheese. And I definitely was eating less crisps or chips than I would in Canada. But I was definitely eating more desserts because creme brulee is my favorite, and you cannot go to Paris without creme brulee. And I had ice cream twice, so there was some changes, but it was crazy that I could see it. You could visually see the change happening in my body. So now we're back to Canada, and yesterday we arrived home, and I tried as much to get straight back into what I could, being tired. But this morning, back into my workouts, back into my nutrition, just back into everything, not to get back to the leanness and the muscle and the strength that I had before we went away. I know that will happen. That will happen. But to get back into feeling good in myself and supporting my mental and emotional health and resiliency on those levels. That's why I'm getting back into everything now. That's why, like, my evening routine last night, we got home straight into that, such a priority. This morning routine, sunlight exposure, my mushroom coffee with my cinnamon and ginger. I really missed that because I wasn't carrying around shakers of cinnamon and ginger across Europe. But those little things really make a difference to me. And this is I don't even want to say this is a choice for me to do this now. I want to do this because it makes me feel good. I've seen how it affects my mental and emotional health and the ripple effect that has. And I have this newfound appreciation for the life I live and the choices I make in regards to fitness and nutrition and going to bed at 8 p.m. Some people might think I'm crazy, but it does me good and I feel good on that. So I'm straight back into routine now because I want to feel good. I don't want to feel upset and sad in myself and that I hate my body and I'm disgusted by myself. I know I'll get back to my leanness and my muscle. That's fine, but it's the feelings. I don't want to feel like that. And that has always been why I've stuck with my journey, because I always said I never wanted to feel like that again, how I felt when I hit rock bottom, when I was at my heaviest, when I was being insulted, being bullied, being mentally abused over my weight and my appearance. I never wanted to feel like that again. That's why I've always stuck with what I do. That's my driver. That's my inspiration. That's, as cliche as it sounds, that's my why. And this 3 weeks has reinforced that. I do not like, it does not make me happy, it makes me upset, it makes me emotional to feel uncomfortable in my body, to look at my body and feel like I don't like it. Now I know some people are going to say, well, you should speak to a therapist or a counselor. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not. This is me. This has been my journey since 2006. This is part of who I am. And I do feel that if I can take away this kind of these reflection points and use them to continue to propel me forward, then I've learned and I've grown from this experience. I still have, and I've always said I have body dysmorphia. I've always said I have my insecurities. I've always said I think that's going to be with me and other people like me forever. No matter how much counseling or therapy I do or don't do, I think it's part of me. I wanted to share that with you. I'd love to hear your feedback. This really is raw, straight from my heart. I'm pretty sure this is going to resonate or help some of you that watch this for sure. Well, hopefully. And if you have any comments or feedback, I would love to hear them. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. And I do know that potentially it is comforting to hear something like this from someone that you think is oh so confident and knowledgeable. And maybe, oh, she's been in the health industry for ages and she looks so great. And now it's comforting to hear that no, that it's you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. As we all know, we all have our struggles, even those of us that you would perceive to be professionals and on top of things. No, sometimes the opposite is true. So I hope you guys found this somewhat insightful and helpful, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.